Hello, hi everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's an awesome day today. Here in India, I know we are having a great day here, and it's a beautiful day today. And I'm really excited to be on the show today with you. Every Thursday at 9 p.m. We are coming on the show and sharing some thoughts with you today. Especially, very particularly, I wanted to talk about my book. So, welcome to the show, and we are from WGSN-DB Going Solo Network.com, and we are every Thursday we are bringing out some good people to talk to you about various things, parenting, mindset, growth, success, all that things which are useful for you. Today I'm really excited. By the way, my name is Solomon Vulampatti. I'm a motivational speaker. Uh, I'm a coach, author of a book by the title Standout with Your Heart. I think you can see this book, yes. And I run an academy in Bangalore which is titled as Standout Leadership Academy. So what we do in this academy is, we have designed some courses for students, children and professionals and entrepreneurs, and and we wanted to help them to grow. We wanted to help them to be better people in their life. So that is what we are doing here. I'm doing especially in Bangalore, and I'm really excited today, particularly to be on this show talking about my book, my friends. How are you doing today again? Whatever you are going through, say to yourself that you are here for great things. You are here for to achieve some great things in your life, and perhaps whatever you are, either you are in a low situation, always remember that you are here to great things, and the things which are holding you back for the moment are just momentary, and they will pass by, and they are not going to stay with you. So, thank you very much for coming on the show. I hope many of you are on the show. If you are on the show, I request you to comment, say hello from where you are listening, your country, your city. I'll be excited to, to answer your questions, and really wanted to, you to encourage to come and engage with us and talk to us. And this is a continuous show. Every Thursday we'll be coming and talking to you. So I wanted you to be familiar with us and where you are watching from, and you wanted your thoughts and your comments, and we will interact and we will talk. So my dear friends, welcome back. I'm Salman Vulampatti. I'm a motivational speaker. I am looking forward for to talk to students, to help them to live an awesome phenomenal life they are destined to live in this on this planet Earth. So today especially, I am talking about my book, Stand Out with Your Heart. This is on Amazon. And this book, is a wonderful book. Is a culmination of 5 years of research. It will be an exaggeration for you, but let me come back to you how I have written this book and why I have written this book. I wanted to, I came from a rural village. My mom and dad are uneducated people. They have no education. I studied in a rural village. I studied in a local language. I studied in Telugu medium, which is my mother tongue. My mom and dad, sent me to the one lone school, that is, in a small building where, it's a beautiful building. Though I still remember that, that building there where I studied, and we learned, all we learned was, so little bit of things, and our teachers are also not so particular. Till fifth standard, we haven't studied anything big, except for those alphabets in Telugu language. Okay, that was the thing we were studying. And from there, I grew up and I went to, boarding school. In a boarding school, we have brothers, and it was a boarding school, and we have humble setup. Our food was very humble and things like that. And I had grown up there, and afterwards I studied my intermediate, which is 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2. All the process, I was looking at my parents when I'm coming home for holidays. Would they ask me anything? All they would ask is, are you behaving well? Are you is father scolding you? Are you take are you, how are you behaving? They are never ever able to tell me how to study, what to study, how to go about with things, and how to all these things. They never could. And when I was in my degree, I came to my degree when I was studying my BSc, and still I was looking at them to tell me something. And that was the scenario where I came from, my dear friends. And I was studying, I was studying BSc, which is biology, chemistry, and botany. There again, I was looking at my household people, my parents, my sisters, my brothers and cousins. Somebody would tell me how to go about. Yeah, they are always asking me whether I'm going to passing the examination. I got my, the first class, that's what they say it. Don't ask me about that. Okay, so all they want is whether I passed in the examination or failed in the examination. That's all. Beyond that, they don't even know what to say, because they are consumed with their lives. The day-to-day life was so difficult for them. They go to work, come back, and hardly they have time. And most of it, is little bit of farming, and again, going for work, for livelihood. If they don't go to work, perhaps we may have to sleep hungry that night. So that was the scenario I have been brought up. So why I wanted you to tell that is because, so growing up from the background, my friends, I have decided. So I did my PG, post-graduation, and my brother wanted me to become a doctor. So that's the reason why I have studied this particular, biology, because I was not good in maths. So obviously the second option here in India is either doctor or engineer. Engineer is for maths. You're good in maths, and you'll be put to engineering. If you are not good in maths, certainly you will be. And if you are neither of that, then you will be into arts. That's how it is. Does not go by your passion. It does not go by your innate ability, your liking, and your aptitude for this one, nothing of that sort. It's all decided by those split and fortunate marks you got in the examination, and that is what it decides. This is the reality during that scenario. Thanks to technology and this widespread knowledge on the internet, so now at least the children and many people could know about it. So this was the scenario. This was the scenario in which I grew up, and I finished my PG, tried for some government jobs. I could not get any government job. The big jobs I was trying for, so I could not get it. But over these years, I have done one single thing in my life. That is, I have a lot of passion for English language. Somehow been fascinated to that language. When I heard it for the first time, I felt, wow, what a beautiful language this is. And I have been drawn to it like fish to water. So while I was studying my zoology, biology for my intermediate degree and for my PG, I have been reading a lot of newspapers, the Hindu magazines, and again, I've been a dancer. I was dancing in my college days. I came from a rural village, suddenly brought to the city for the intermediate 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2. I saw for the first time in my life, I saw the Bollywood movies, Hindi movies, and there was the dancing and all that. And then suddenly, wow, what a beautiful thing this is, because all that while I hardly saw movies in my growing up years till my 10th standard, because we were in boarding, and then the brothers never used to take us to the movies. Hardly one movie in about 6 months, let us say. So that was the scenario. So we hardly know anything. Suddenly I came to this big city, but that city was, Vijayawada. That city is a big city, and then when I used to go to the theater, there was a huge cutout of the film star. Then I looked at the huge cutout and I saw, wow, what an awesome thing that is. I entered into the movie theater. I saw that I've been floored, and there I started. Why not I imitate this dance, these steps, and then I went on the stage and I was dancing my friends. So that was crazy, and that is how I brought up. So why am I saying all this is because, my dear friends, see, you must understand my life. When I have finished my PG, when I could not get through any good government job, then what I did, I joined as a teacher. That's the last thing, here in India. If you are not good at anything, jump on to be a teacher. Forgive me, all those great teachers are on the planet, on the earth. They are wonderful teachers, but majority, no. I'm sorry, the majority popular mindset is that, if you are not good at anything, jump to be a teacher. So that was it. But I love to teach. I love to, hang around with young children and students. I love to be there with them. But, unfortunately, the subject what I'm supposed to teach is not my cup of tea. That biology, I always hated it. So today, this evening, I was talking to somebody. I was introducing myself. A foreigner was sitting in one organization, NGO, where my office is, my academy is. I told her that I have wasted 25 years of my life. So what happened was, after that, and I worked as a teacher. I was not good, I was really having a bad time, teaching that subject, because the children were not liking it. The children were telling me, sir, you better come for English language than biology. Then I looked over my shoulders, where do I run? Because I had never said they won't allow me to teach English. Yes, I wanted to, but it's not, for intermediate I cannot teach. For that matter. So my dear friends, so then what happened after working for some years, it was so, it was so beautiful, it was so coincidental that, we had come to Hyderabad, which is a metropolitan city, and then I found that, I must follow my passion, and I got into writing. I took some tests in the advertising industry, and I joined as a copywriter. They gave me a job as a copywriter, and I started working as a copywriter. I am writing pretty good headlines. I have no any experience or any education in journalism, neither in writing. Yes, I like the language, but I went there, I just took a test, and I asked them, they asked me to write some captions. I wrote the captions, I wrote it, and then my journey into writing has begun from there, from the advertising agencies. So over the years, for 20 years, I've worked in advertising industry as a copywriter. Again, I have, I was not asking for a big salary. Many times I said this in my motivational talks. I tell the people, see, I never had the guts to ask a good salary, befitting my experience. If I have 5 years of experience, still I used to ask only 35,000. Unless than that, because I used to feel that, I must not lose that opportunity. Whereas people, designers who are about 1 year experience, they were drawing about 60,000. So I was actually not earning big money either. But do you think that I'm in any way low in my craft? No, not at all. I was giving the best captions, and the clients were crazy. They were really liking me. That guy Solomon, he's there. Call him to our office, so I want to talk to him. So that was the thing. So I was. Then after working for 20 years, I wanted to start my own advertising agency, my friends, and then even there again, I'm not, so confident person to ask for a big, price for the work I do. So I have been. Then afterwards, what happened is then I was deeply thinking about my life, where I have started, how far I have come. Whereas my friends who are working in government positions, jobs, they were earning good salary from the service, from the government service. But here I am, sitting in the came to this big city with big dreams. I wanted to make a big life for myself, but here I am, I collapsed. I did not know where to run, because I have talent, I have ability, I'm giving the best things possible for the people, but still there is something that is hurting me. There is something that is holding me back. What it is, I don't know. I don't know what it was. So suddenly I went into deep reflection about my life, and in the process I was reading several books, because I wanted to find some answers for my life, for the questions I was. Why am I not able to make it? What is holding me back? When I look back, when I compare and contrast myself with the other peers, my friends, in the corporate world, they are nowhere better than me. I am on par with them. I am equivalent to them in terms of writing. I mean, any work, let us say in about a week's time, if they want me to write some stuff, I will go nuts. I will go, bonkers and day in and day out. I will work on that, read about, minimum 50 competitors on the, about the particular gender, particular category. I used to come up with something crazy, my friends. I should have been earning crazy good money, to be frank with you. But so then I went into deep reflection and I thought, and I was reading, several books, Stephen Covey, Seven Habits, Dale Carnegie, Martha Beck, and Norman Vincent Peale, and John Maxwell, of course, is my mentor today. So several books I have read and I have understood that these are the some of the best thoughts everybody should understand. When I'm looking at people, then people don't have time. If I ask anybody, hey, have you read Stephen Covey's Seven Habits? Not many people know who Stephen Covey is. And especially imagine the lives of students. Their lives are so busy. They wake up and they go to classes and they study for the exams, and their lives are so crazy. And then I understood that I have to do something for the people. So the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to write a book. So what I did is, when I have researched about all these things, all those principles they have talked about in the various books, they're all esoteric. They're all very much theoretical. They are very much of intellectual. For them to remember that. For people, it is very difficult to remember Stephen Covey's. I told you many times, about Stephen Covey's laws. For example, people come first. He says people come first. So they don't know what people come first is all about. So I have just designed few principles, 9 principles I should say. These 9 principles, I put it. I have written this book, Standout with your heart, my friends. So this is the first chapter is you are a leader. I decided that will be my first. Why did I take that as my first chapter? See, I have been, while I was working in advertising agencies, I told you that I have been meeting several clients, business entrepreneurs. Some of them are big guys. They sit in big lavish and swanky offices. When I used to go there, I used to shiver. But when I entered inside, I used to talk to them. I said, good morning, my name is Solomon. I'm a copywriter. Oh, you're the copywriter. Come over. Get him some tea. Mr. Solomon is a nice guy. So then I used to look at them and say, about your company. What they used to say? They used to say all about, sir, you are so great. You're really doing awesome. You have so much of big volume of big clients as your customers. That is awesome. Hey, Solomon, it's not awesome. So please don't write that. So while you are writing your brochure, my brochure, please be little bit on the lighter side. Don't hit me. Don't tell people that I am something really great and phenomenal and all that stuff. So this is my request for you. So why? Okay, that is about the big guy, big companies, swanky office, having about hundreds of customers, real estate companies, and corporate hospitals and all that stuff. And when I used to lead a small guy, he's also the same. Even a mid-segment company when we are writing, even there also. And again, I spoke to many professionals in the apartments where I'm staying, and people I'm introduced to in parties and marriages. Some of the biggest officials, one gentleman, he was working for Chrysler company, automobile company. Yes, I said, he said to me that he conducts interviews, campus interviews in colleges, engineering colleges. And he said, Solomon, the sad reality is many of our graduates are not, job ready. They do not have confidence. So he used to say, then I said, what's wrong? Where is it wrong? Do you think that, the first rank holders are having the same, the kind of attitude? Yes, even they are also the same kind. So then, even then, wow, his name is, I forgot, wow, you're doing great stuff. You're doing great stuff. Solomon, forgive me, I'm not so great. And even this prophet, and again, there is a tendency of, a fear, a kind of a fear, a kind of a mindset that they are losing their jobs. That is also professionals who are working in corporates. They always, hey Solomon, you never know. Maybe I'm in this position. I never know. I'm not sure about this job. I might lose this job. See, so with these kind of things, I wonder what exactly. And if you talk about if imagine if business people, entrepreneurs, established and entrepreneurs and professionals who are at the highest top, highest positions in the companies are talking like this, talking with skepticism, talking with doubt, and talking with some uncertainty in their minds, and they're communicating in this way. You can imagine what would be the scenario, what would be the scenario they create in their homes, what would be the scenario they create in their respective offices, what would be the language they speak to their teammates and in the companies and their colleagues. You can imagine what kind of energy levels they create, what kind of confidence levels they create, what kind of euphoria they can generate in their companies. I've been thinking, what is really bothering these people? What is exactly the reason, the premise for this kind of a scenario, which is not so encouraging? Then I thought that there is something really wrong. Then I thought that every one of us should feel that we are here for great things. So the reason why for all of you, and my kind of a clarion call for all of you is that you are a leader. You are born for greatness. You are born for greatness. As Mark Twain said, there are 2 days which are more important in your life. The one is when you are the day when you are born, and the second day is why you are born for. And you know the reason why you are born for. So Mark Twain said that. And again, I would like to quote, what Winston Churchill said, that sure and that this day we are masters of our fate. The task which has been set before us is not far above our strengths. The toils and pangs are not beyond our endurance. I'll repeat it. Sure on this day, we are masters of our fate. The task which has been set before us is not above our strengths. The pangs and toils are not beyond my endurance. As long as we have faith in our own cards, an unconquerable will to win, victory will not be denied us. This is what Winston Churchill exhorting the people to come round for the country, to work for the country and for the victory. Perhaps I'm not a historian though, so that is how we know. So the task which has been set before you, that you can do miracles in this world while you are living, is not far beyond your strength, your intellectual strength, your physical strength, whatever strength it is, you can do it. So my dear friends, so that is what it is, to raise to greatness. Again, another great person said, I think perhaps it is the nature of man to raise to greatness if greatness is expected of him. The great man said. So if you feel that you are expected, you are expected on the planet to do something great, you will certainly follow the great grace. So my dear friends, let's say this is WGSN-DB going solarnetwork.com. My name is Sal. We'll go for a small break and we will come back. Have some a sip of tea. See you back again. Welcome back, friends, and we have quite a few minutes. The time is quite, thing here. So, welcome back, and my name is Salvan Vulupat. I'm a motivational speaker. This show is called as Motivational Power. We have been bringing guests on the show, and whichever, if you are watching the show, please go ahead and comment and say hi. Hi, Salvan, how are you doing? And share your thoughts. We'll be very eager, and we will be so we have to talk to you. We'll answer your questions. So this part which is available on our my dear friends. So the first chapter is you are a leader. So I wanted you to take this, for this slogan and adapt it to yourself and to repeat it morning, afternoon, and evening. Especially when you wake up, you tell, I am a leader. I am a leader. I am a leader. I am born for leadership. Again, leader in the sense that, don't take it the word, it's here in India, it's a misconstrued word. It's misunderstood word. How? We feel that leaders here are those people who are doing great things. Suppose, if you are a principal, you think you are a leader. But if you are a teacher, you think that you are not a leader. If you're a company manager, you think that you're a leader. And if you're working for a manager, you're greatness. Raising to greatness. To raise to greatness, if greatness is expected of man. So we have been called here. See, the universe created us. The universe way of as a way of doing things. It creates. See, the universe runs through one being. If you look around, the seeds of great things that have been done by our forefathers. Let us say, if I, this particular gravity, the law of gravity, let us say, with which so much we could have science through that principle, right? And if you look at the political leaders, if you look at Martin Luther, if you look at Abraham Lincoln, you look at Gandhi, you look at Ambedkar, and several other leaders, they have been born. They are like you and me. Perhaps if Einstein, what is born in a scenario, who are living a normal life, they go there, they come back, they study something, they learn few facts and principles, and they work somewhere, earn livelihood, and done. But Einstein is here, who has thought about himself that hey, I'm here for a purpose, and he understood, he reflected on his life, and he stood for it. When greatness is expected, a man raised to greatness. So Martin Luther, for example, he has been there. He is like every other kid, a black kid in the block. He has been going to school, coming back. His parents were feeding him. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing great. And you know what? They feed him and put him to bed and send him to the schools and things. But here is a person who thought that, look, I'm here for something great. I'm here for something great. I'm here to do something big, something phenomenal. So that is how Martin Luther. So my dear friends, I'm encouraging you to do that. What happens is when you feel that you're born for greatness, it gets into your subconscious level. When it gets into your subconscious level, you'll be an automated process. Any work is given to you, you perform it to the best. Any word you give it to people, you don't really go back on the word, you perform it, you fulfill it. If some task has been entrusted to you and some people were there that they're relying on your responsibility and the accomplishment of the job, you are standing there day and night, whatever it is, there's no time, no buck. Even in the middle of the night, if you are conducting a show and the guest is coming in the middle of the night at 1:30 in the wee hours of the morning and you are there standing. I know people that. So my dear friends, so that is the reason man is a person for greatness. The proof, you ask me, hey Salva, what's the proof? The proof is just before us. History is the proof for us. Einstein, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King. In our midst, there are several people who are standing for that. Even in the current times, you look at Steve Jobs. What has he done? He stood for miraculous design. He thought that he never had any kind of a cap or any kind of thing on the perfection of the design. He said, no way. You got to hit it to the top. Only the top is our standard. So so that is how it is. That is how it is. So and again, you look at other people, the singers, for example, or music directors, for example, and there are so much of awesomeness, so much of miraculous creativity that is being all around us. And if you look around and say, how come these people could accomplish it, and what am I here for to do it? You are not here to lead a normal life. Yes, we all eat food, we do things, but in the things, the small things you are doing, in those little things you are doing, you are bringing excellence, you are bringing amazing stuff. So that is what is called as a leadership. Leadership is nothing but greatness, bringing greatness into you, doing those small things in a great way. That is what it is. That I think Martin Luther King said that a man is sweeping on the street. Is sweeping just like how Beethoven creates music. How Leonardo sculpts a painting, sculpts a statue, paints a painting. So that is what it is. So we are, all of us, whatever little things we are doing, whatever the things we have been entrusted to, even to the point of parenting children. Even that again, is a big thing. How are you parenting your children? If you are a teacher, how are you doing it? So, my dear friends, so that is exactly what it is. So, believe you can, you are halfway there, Theodore Roosevelt. So, my dear friends, if we say that, I am a leader, I am a born leader, I am born for leadership, I am born for greatness. If you believe that I am here for something great, whatever I am doing, I am a teacher, but I can go there to the class and I can give everything I got for myself. I just wanted to give everything I got. So if you can do that, my friends, you are doing a phenomenal job out there as a leader. Leadership is thrusted upon us. If you look at our forefathers, how they are manifesting greatness in their lives, just like just now, as I have cited few names, I have said few names. Those Einstein, for example, or Abraham Lincoln, for example, the way they have performed, the way they have created, amazing stuff. So you and me are brothers and sisters and cousins of that great progeny, that noble progeny we have, and we can take a cue from that. So that is what it is. You wouldn't exist if you did not have something to bring to the table of life. Herbie Hancock. We wouldn't be existing, You know what? Again, today in 2020, we have been fortunate to enter into 2020. This is an awesome year, 2020. It's a new decade. Somebody was talking about. And T.D. Jakes was talking about, he always evaluates his life in decades, it seems, not in a year. So this decade, has brought us. We are alive. Many people are no more. They might have, many of our friends, our relatives would have been passed away. They haven't seen 2020, but you and me are alive here. So the decade is calling us. This decade is the decade of abundance. And again, William James has rightly put out that man can change the circumstances. You may be saying that. As I'm talking to you, you may be asking a question, Solomon, you don't know my situation, you don't know my scenario, you don't know what are the things I'm going through, you don't know what is that, the problems I'm undergoing here. If you know, you wouldn't say that I am born for leadership, I'm a leader, I'm for greatness, my friend. You will be asking me. I have only one answer. Those things which are, actually came in your way, and as challenges or struggles, in whichever way you put it. I put it as challenges. I do not put it as struggles. Those things came in your way to empower you, to make you strong, to make you bold, so that it develops your character. How on earth otherwise we develop our character, we develop our confidence? You tell me how you develop your confidence. And if you overcome an obstacle, then you feel more emboldened. Somebody tells you to do a challenge, work bigger than what you think, you can say, I can do it, because you have done something. So somebody said, if you have still, feeling, skeptical, not sure about, your advancement in the future time, in the future, look back how many hurdles you have crossed in your life. Somebody was talking about it. When I look back, I have seen, I'm from a rural village, my parents are uneducated, I studied in a small, place, and I have nobody, to motivate me, to tell me what I am good at and how awesome I am, what is the power in me, what is that mind power I got. Nobody told me, but still, I came, I pursued, I took the bold step, taking out of my family, my wife and children, and coming to the big cities in pursuit of my passion, in pursuit of what I wanted to achieve in my life. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to do something with my language. In fact, I did not come to Hyderabad city to become a writer. I wanted to do something, which is related to English language. Whether I wanted to work as a marketing, I don't know. But I came to the city, with my passion, with my big heart, because that is what I felt that choose your calling, choose your passion, and with that passion, tell the whole world, here I am standing with my passion. I am the big leader. That is the reason why I have titled my book as Standout. Actually, I wanted to title it as Standout, because our passion stands out. If you say that, if you know that what you're good at, and if you stand in that passion zone of yours, which is otherwise called as a strength zone, you will be like a colossus. You will be like a colossus, a mighty, mighty, mighty powerful person on this planet Earth. My dear friends, I wanted to encourage you I am a leader. I'm born for greatness. I'm here to create something amazing stuff. As you say, you wouldn't exist if you did not have something miraculous to bring to the world. You wouldn't be alive. You would have been dead by now. You would all been. See, the fact that you are alive, the fact that you are still standing and breathing, this proves that, this underlines that, it underscores that you are here to manifest something phenomenal. How you do it is just you have to commit to it. You believe that you are here for something great, and you commit to it. Hey, no matter what obstacles come, no matter what hurdles come, I'm going to rock. I'm going to do the best that is possible in this place. I can face any amount of opposition. I can talk to any amount of people. I can really go and convince people on this. But my mission and vision is to bring something miraculous in this particular endeavor, in this particular task, and that should be when you commit to it. My friends, your greatness shows, and you execute it. Perhaps you will wonder, am I the same person who has done this? Isn't it? And you for sure, you will be feeling, phenomenally awesome. And that is how the greatest things, we can accomplish. I'll just tell you one story before we call it off. Its time is pressing. So my dear friends, you'll find me www.standoutleadershipacademy.com, which is still I'm writing there. I have designed courses for students. You can ask me, hey Salman, what are the courses you are offering for students? I have beautiful course. I love learning, which is a beautiful course. Here is the flyer with me, and this is the flyer. Standout Leadership Academy. I have listed. I love learning for the students, 10th standard, 8th, 9th, 10th standard students, because they are sending to schools. They don't know why, because they are scared of this. Because they tell there is a way to learn. There is a way to learning. There is an approach to learning. So we become my passion. So many of us know we are good at many things. We push it aside, just for getting some when we are on something. So I wanted the students to come into their passion zone. As many of them, all of them. And that is the reason why, and we can as I told you about the entrepreneurs or the big company person who is having a low confidence because his business not in his passion zone. His business is not in his passion zone. That is, he's doing it. He's doing it just because somebody told him that idea. Hey, you do this business because you can make quick money. People tell me that. Hey Salman, you can't make any living. How are you making a living? I said, I'm not making a big living though, but I would. They tell me to sell insurance. Well, my friend, if I do that, I might earn money, but my friends and my people are, they're crying for some help. They're crying for motivation, inspiration. My friends, how do I help them? There's nobody to help them. I am the person they're looking for me. They're searching for me. Hey, tell me that guy. Who is that guy I wanted some motivation. I want some inspiration. I want to grow myself. I don't know how. So my dear friends, so these courses can help you. I'm a millionaire businessman. I have a course for millionaire business people as well. Business is all about a mindset. Everything is a mindset. So to say, if you are struggling with finances will come. Get the right people will come. If you're struggling to, get the right clients, exact clients who will pay you and your pricing and more to go for a foreign vacation and still talk about your social media from the rooftops, mountain tops. That kind of clients are there. All you have to do is, it is happening. You have to put it into your subconscious mind. My dear friends, you are a leader. You are born for greatness. You are here to manifest, something phenomenal. Whatever you're doing, I'm not telling you we need to do big things. No need. Motivational speakers, may come, may recite, some of the greatest scriptures. We don't need that. All we need is put a hand over the shoulder of the person. Hey, buddy, you can do it. You know what? You can do more than this, can't you? And he looks at you and, with skeptic eyes and he says, are you sure I can do more than this? Yeah, you can do it. So, my dear friends, that is exactly, I'm here for. I may not have big, things, reciting and stuff like that. But all I know is that, how powerful you are, how powerful human mind is. And again, in my book, and this chapter, You Are a Leader, the first chapter, I have spoken about Batman and Superman, The Batman and Superman, those characters, those are fictional characters, but I believe they are the real characters. Those people, I don't know who wrote the script of this Batman and Superman. I am telling you, those people, that imagination is real. Man is that kind of powerful. If it's, jumping from one skyscraper to the next skyscraper, flying in the air, someone starting in the air and then tossing down from the skyscraper down and picking up the victim and lifting him up to the skies is, I am telling you, is possible. Man is that kind of greatness. And if I tell you, if you think that Batman and Superman are not there, I am telling you they are there. It's real. You can imagine Martin Luther as a Batman, as a Superman, who has done miraculous things. My dear friends, this imagination of Batman and Superman are real. They are in our midst. You know what? There is this thing, that when a man was, reversing his car, a lady was reversing his car, and suddenly, she overlooked there is a child of hers who went in the wheels. Then, that lady, frail lady, she lifted up the whole machine about, for 300 kg. How could I do that? So what do you say? Is it not a Batman and a superwoman that lady is? And you have not tested your power. You have not given a chance for yourself to do these things, because you always felt that you cannot do. You have that this is me. This is all I can do. That's the reason why you have not tasted your greatness. My dear friends, thank you very much for being on the show. I request you to say hello on the show, and I'm really, really excited to be here, and I can't tell you how excited I am. And 2020 is a year of abundance, 2020. And you know what? On this book, there are 9 principles. So we can do a mastermind, and if you wanted to do it, we need 5 weeks for that. Each week, 2 chapters we can study. And if you are interested, I can send you across the link. So we need about a couple of people. We can do a mastermind on my book. Those 9 principles are super crazy principles. Check it on Amazon. And I can really give you signed copies of this book, and if it is good, then if you are interested, we can talk about the other on the show as well. But I would like to do a mastermind on this, so you can just put your comment on the comments thing and say that, hey Solomon, I would like to have a mastermind of the book and I would like to join. So thank you very much for being here, and this is WGSN-DB goingsolo-network.com, and we really wanted to help people to raise to the levels, to raise their greatness, and to do phenomenal things, and to do more than what amazingly more, and live an abundant life. And last, before we just take off, so I would like to leave you with everyone got talent. What is rare is the courage to follow it to the darkest places, any culture. We all been talented. There is no passion to be found in playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one we are capable of living. Now, that's amazing, right? There is no point in living a small life, when we are capable of living such big life. That the world can be amazed like our forefathers. My friends, I wanted you to be like our icons. I wanted you to be our leaders, our greatest leaders. I wanted you to say to yourself that an amazing person I'm born. You are just been born on this planet for once, and this life, if you could make the best of yourself. The mind is super powerful. William James, the 19th century he has created history. He has rewritten, man's destiny by saying that, the power is all in your thoughts. Generate those powerful thoughts in your mind. Say to the world that you are amazing, you're going here doing great things. Suppose in your business, you tell them that, I would make it into a 100 billion business. You don't need to know how it is, but you can say that. So thank you very much for being on the show. Let us live a great life. Let us live a life that you feel worthy of, and you leave a legacy for the generations to come. And while you are here, inspire and motivate people by your accomplishments, by your successes, by the miracles you have accomplished. Thank you for being on the show. This is Salman Bulukparti. Take care, have a great time, and see you next week on Thursday. And don't forget to place a comment on the show and share this video to your friends, so that they might be looking for some motivation. They might be looking, you never know, and they will be grateful for this. But 2020 is our year, and let us make it phenomenal and rocking year, my dear friends. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. See you next week. Thank you. Woo.